statement by Kikuyu elders and community leaders from Molo, Njoro, Kuresoi North, na Kuresoi South sub-counties on peace-building efforts and the prevailing political situation in the country. As elders and leaders from the Kikuyu community drawn from the above sub-counties, we wish to state that we have agreed to work with our counterparts from the Kalenjin community to promote inter-ethnic harmony, peace, and stability in our areas as the country gears up towards the 2027 general elections. We take no cognizance of the fact that Kikuyus and the Kalenjins are the two dominant ethnic communities in the listed sub-counties and who have shared socio-economic and political ties for a long time and who have in the past suffered loss due to politically instigated conflicts. Commitment to foster peace with the fellow elders. It is for this reason that we feel obligated to make our stand clear that as the country heads towards the general elections, we are committed and determined to engage like-minded elders and community leaders from the Kalenjin community to foster peace and stability in the region. Sections of elders from our neighboring communities have also demonstrated their willingness to engage in talks on peace-building efforts. We want to remember the past and history of Mzee Jomo Kenyatta and our late President Moi. It is instructive to point out that from historical contexts, the Kikuyu and Kalenjin communities have had mutual and cordial socio-economic and political relationship from the time former President Daniel Arap Moi, who was one of the key leaders of the defunct KADU party, joined hands with the founding president, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, in 1969 to promote inter-ethnic harmony in Rift Valley region and the country at large. Regrettably, political mistrust and rivalry and unbridled competition for political power have in the past and especially in the 1990s and 2007 and 2008 disrupted inter-ethnic harmony and peaceful coexistence among its members of the two communities, turning the region into the epicenter of politically instigated clashes. Uhuru Ruto Peace Pact. Fortunately, peace and tranquility was restored following the unity pact between immediate former President Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto. Following the 2007 and 2008 politically instigated ethnic skirmishes following the disputed presidential elections. As elders and community leaders who have been at the center of peace-building initiative and reconciliation efforts amongst different ethnic communities in our region for the past more than 30 years, we underscore the citizens' right to actively participate in competitive politics while emphasizing on the need to uphold the rule of law and the right to individual determination. In this regard, it is our considered view that some utterances and actions of sections of political leaders, especially those from outside our sub-counties, portend a threat to peace and stability in the region due to their ethnicized nature. As elders and community leaders from areas that represent the plurality of ethnic communities and political persuasions, we urge all political leaders soliciting for votes in the region to uphold decorum in their speech and talk, to avoid igniting ethnic passions, hatred, and animosity. Respect for governance institutions. We strongly subscribe to the view that The stability of our region and the country in general is anchored on the fidelity of the rule of law and respect for established governance institutions, including presidency, as leaders engage in political campaigns across the country. As elders and leaders from the Kikuyu community, we are committed to embrace our counterparts from other communities as neighbors and brothers as we encourage our communities to work together towards attaining a common destiny as people of one nation. Our painful history and experience. We wish to unequivocally state that our stand and point on the country's political landscape is informed by our painful history, experience resulting from intermittent interethnic violence and ethnic conflicts every electoral cycle. The cycle has, however, been broken in the past 3 general elections due to peace pact between the Kikuyu and Kalenjin communities, and hence the need to upscale peace building efforts among its local communities within the region in the run-up to the next general elections. It is public. Eh? Okay. It is public knowledge that conflicts among the Kikuyu and Kalenjin communities have in the past resulted into enormous loss of human life, maiming of people, massive destruction of property, displacement of people from their homes, and other untold human suffering. Documented evidence of effects of violence. The horrific aftermath of blood-letting ethnic conflicts in our regions arising from ethnic suspicions and rivalry and political incitement are well documented in reports prepared by various judicial commissions and other committees tasked with the responsibility of investigating into the causes of these clashes. These include the Kennedy Kiliku-led Parliamentary Select Committee report that indicates close to 3,500 people lost their lives across the country during the 1992 ethnic clashes, which hit several parts of the country, with Moro, Kuresoi North, and Kuresoi South being the epicenter of that violence. The Justice Akilano Akiwim Commission has indicates close to 3,800 people were killed during politically instigated ethnic clashes that rocked parts of the country in 1997, with our region being the most affected area. The Justice Philip Waki-led commission and the Justice Cleargra-led commissions, which inquired into the cases of the politically instigated ethnic clashes which rocked the country following the disputed presidential elections in 2007 and 2008, still with our areas being the hardest hit area. And in that area, we lost more than 1,300 people in 2007-2008. You can imagine, if you put the number together, you are talking about 9,000 people have died in this region of ours, in that short while. Those are too many people, lots of destruction of wealth, and many maimed people. The above reports, among other documents in the public domain, have further documented the damage caused by the clashes, including destruction of property, theft of livestock, and massive displacement and eviction of thousands of people from their homes and farms. Residents of our sub-counties bore the brunt of the whole violence again. You can imagine how much Moro, Joro, sub-counties of Kuresoi North and Kuresoi South bore this problem. Need for the preservation of peace. It is in this regard that we as elders and community leaders are persuaded that the preservation of peace and stability in our regions and the country at large remains the topmost priority and political agenda for all the leaders across political divide, and most especially those engaged in presidential contests.